Alright, Mehul Choksi, who was arrested in Belgium for his involvement in the rupees 13,000 crore Punjab National Bank loan fraud scam, has been evading authorities since 2018. In 2018, Choksi, Nirav Modi, their family members and employees, bank officials and others were booked by the CBI and ED for perpetrating the alleged loan fraud at the Brady House branch of PNB in Mumbai. He fled India the same year and initially travelled to the United States before settling in Antigua. He had acquired Antiguan nationality in 2017. Later, he travelled to Belgium for his treatment for blood cancer. As he returned, Choksi settled in Antigua in 2018. In March 2023, Interpol revoked the red notice against Choksi. In 2024, Choksi and his wife reportedly relocated from Antigua to Belgium. Mehul and Preeti Choksi were considering settling in Geneva, Switzerland. And according to a report by the Associated Times, the Mehul Choksi and his presence in Antwerp, Belgium has been confirmed. He was residing in Belgium along with his wife Preeti Choksi after obtaining a F residency card in the country. The report claimed Choksi submitted false declarations and forged documents while applying for residency in Belgium, failing to disclose his Indian and Antiguan citizenships. It also suggested that Choksi planned to relocate to Switzerland, citing the need for treatment at a cancer hospital. Let's take a look at that particular report, and then of course we will also get our guests to weigh in on what they feel about what's happening with Mehul Choksi. Alright, this is the Choksi scam. We are obviously picking this up from the Associated Times. Dear colleague, our client Mr. Mehul Choksi is a domiciled citizen in Belgium, living there since November 15, 2023. He has legal residence here and is registered in the Belgium National Register. This was in fact confirmed by Mehul Choksi that he is residing in Antwerp in Belgium. What grounds were given to actually obtain this kind of a residency is at this point in time not very clear, but they seem to be fraudulent. When he secured this F residency, he obviously submitted some papers, lied to the authorities because obviously he was a wanted man. So he must have changed a lot of these documentations to get into that country on spurious grounds. Well, he has been a legal resident of Belgium for quite some time now, but it's the Indian authorities who are absolutely keen in figuring out what kind of a treatment he should be getting. Well, it also in fact bears more details about his legal residence and its status, and the fact that he's a part of the Belgian National Register. He's also married to something that's been redacted at this point in time, who's a Belgian nationality and is also domiciled in Belgium at the same address. This obviously seems to be untrue because his wife is Indian. Furthermore, the Belgian government only issues F cards to applicants who have proven to meet the additional legal conditions of Article so and so and Article that and that of Law 15 December 1980 on access to territory, residence, settlement and expulsion of aliens. So he gave fake documents to secure residency, a fake spouse as well to secure residency in Belgium, and that's the only way he has been able to stay in Belgium. His daughter is also of Belgium nationality. Obviously, there seems to be a lot of fraudulent exchange of not only documents, but we are very sure that he's used to giving money to get his work done, and that's exactly what must have happened here as well. He applied for the permanent Belgian residency to obviously evade law from India, and the thousands of crores he duped the Indian exchequer of. He didn't reveal he's still an Indian citizen and an Antiguan citizen. So obviously he was trying to pass off as somebody who's genuinely looking for this kind of a citizenship, and also got it. He misrepresented his nationality in the application process. So obviously this is something that Mr. Choksi has been used to. He has been forging documents. He has been giving bribes. Choksi had planned to relocate to Switzerland as well. So obviously this was all a calculated move, and all of these documents are pretty much explaining as to what kind of a trail he was following and where he was headed as well. He said that he needed treatment for cancer at a hospital, and that perhaps did the trick. A lot of residency visas and permits are given on the basis of health as well, whether a person is suffering from a disease, there is a possibility that something like this can be accorded on humanitarian grounds. But obviously, Mr. Mehul Choksi took advantage of it. We are going to get our guest to weigh in on this new possible extradition. We'll talk about this with Mr. Sanjay Sahai, former IPS officer, Satyendra Singh, former Deputy Director of the ED, with us on the program as well. Mr. M.L. Sharma, former SP, Director of the CBI, is also with us on the show. And last but by no means the least, Dr. Sharath Kohli, Senior Economist, joins us on the program as well. Dr. Kohli, well, we've just had a successful extradition very recently of Tahavur Rana. But Mr. Mehul Choksi is another kind of a terrorist, if we can call him that for the lack of a better word. 13,000 crores is no chunk of change, Dr. Kohli, and that is what he duped us of. That is what he duped the Indian banking system of, and he's still at large. What do you make of the efforts that are being put in by Indian agencies to ascertain that he's brought back to India and he faces the stern edge of the law?
Good evening, good evening to my fellow panelists and Newsx viewers. Yes, it was $1.8 billion at that time. Thanks to rupee dollar rates, it's over $1.5 billion as it comes to the letter of undertakings I remember in March, April 2017, which he gave to the Punjab National Bank, all under fraudulent conditions. We all know, I remember discussing the Mehul Choksi case on your channel a number of times. Now it's Switzerland, Belgium, Antigua, Barbados, India, and a few other countries. A game of lies. I'm suffering from this disease, I'm suffering from cancer. Well, after the case of Vijay Mallya, let me tell you, Vineet, honestly, I have sort of lost my faith on these extradition treaties because there are so many escape routes in these treaties. Now, if you go through the Indo-Belgium extradition treaty, there are three very prominent grounds. Either there is a political reason behind somebody, there is a health reason, or there is a human right issue. On all these three grounds, extradition can be blocked. So he's got a health reason now. I mean, I don't know if the medical
Dr.
reports are real.
Dr. Kohli, you may have to relocate because we are not able to see your video at this point in time, perhaps of bandwidth issues. I'm going to come back to you momentarily. Let me also rope in Mr. Sanjay Sahai while Dr. Kohli fixes his frame. Mr. Sahai, this has been a very important case for the entire country. This man has duped the banking system to the tune of thousands of crores. And there is a possibility that he is going to be extradited. But obviously, the legal recourse and the humanitarian recourse that he's going to exploit in Europe perhaps might delay this. How do you look at this case, and how important is it for this man to come back?
See, he has not duped the Indian banking system. He has basically gamed the Indian banking system and made it run in the manner he wanted to. With two bankers, I think one deputy general manager and a clerk from the concerned branch which you have been talking about. So what he has done from there, he was able to plan very meticulously how to move out of this country, and on I think 1st of January 2018, Nirav Modi left the country, and 4th of January 2018, this Choksi left the country. Even before that, there are 4 or 5 cases which are already registered in India, and I have talked in one of these RBI conferences also as to how RBI was unaware when there is so much of default issues which were happening as far as cases are concerned or as far as loans are concerned. So that is one part of the story, whether the regulatory mechanism was working in the manner it should have been. I've kept on repeating that we are a country where regulatory crisis, I think it allows everybody or anybody who is of that criminal mind to indulge in such nefarious activities. This went on from 2011 to 2017. It was only at a junior official of PNB Bank when he started asking for 100% margin money that the whole thing came out. See why it is very critical, because loopholes were there earlier, loopholes will remain are today, it will be there in future. The capability of the internal staff, which means insider threat, and people like Nirav Modi and Choksi, they coming together and exploiting these loopholes. I think that is the biggest challenge this country is facing as far as the banking system is concerned, and on a regular basis, you are seeing this crisis by way of mule accounts and issues related to digital arrest, investment scam and the like. Now this gentleman goes away from here. He takes citizenship of a country, Antigua, and from there he starts operating in different manners. And every single incident which happens, which we believe is not of the Indian making, so that he uses in his favor. He got a red corner notice cancelled. So that is no small thing, and he had gone to whatever is the arbitration level court of Interpol, and he has been successfully been able to do so. Now, where the challenge lies, I think there are two things which are pretty similar. As in the US courts in 2010-11, Rana was cleared of a direct involvement in 2011. Now here again the same story comes. The red corner notice has been cancelled, and on another fresh extradition request, this Choksi has been arrested in Antwerp in so he has been arrested in Antwerp in Belgium. So this is where we are, and he will remain in jail till the time this extradition is decided. Now there are two, three issues, and what Sharad was talking about. These treaties are completely subjective in nature. We try to make it as objective as empirical, and to satisfy our investigative agencies so many times for their huge legwork. So we call it objective and empirical, but there's a huge amount of subjectivity involved. I think there was a killing inside Tihar jail also. Even that is being cited, that the Indian prisons are not fit enough for these great criminals to come back. So the conditions there are not in tune with supposedly the international standards. And then finally, you come to the health issues, and you come to the human rights issues. So all these things are enmeshed into each other, to best of my understanding and whatever details I have gone through as a part of the investigation of this case. It is a closed and shut case as far as the case is concerned, and as far as those 13 or 13,500 crores are involved by every single letter of undertaking. What is very, very critical is that the insider there, so he has been able to help, and he has been able to guide these guys, or these guys have added those, guided those insiders as to how a swift operation, how a letter of undertaking in the SWIFT system could be kept away from the central banking system. And that is that loophole they kept on using over and over again, and it was basically a Ponzi scheme which was being played.
Okay. Let's see if Dr. Kohli is back with us. Dr. Kohli?
There was some connection issue. Are you getting me now?
I am, sir. I am, sir. Go on.
So my contention was that I have sort of lost faith. I mean, with due respect to the extradition treaty, there's a lot of effort which goes behind signing extradition treaties. But I have, after Vijay Mallya case, I have sort of lost, because I was the first one to interpret the Indo-UK extradition treaty, and now I did the same, and many years after, by going through the Belgian extradition treaty on the three grounds which which you just heard from the honorable senior police officer. I have a lot of respect for him, and I'm glad he agrees to me that health, political, and human rights, he's going to induce all three of them. And I won't be surprised somebody from the opposition side says, no, Modi government is trying to do this. So all three are going to get combined, and it will go into a rigmarole of cases filed here, there, appeals being made here, there, and by the time Choksi would finish his lifespan, and he would be dead anyway because of either his illness or his age, and that will be the end of the story. I think it is high time that these extradition treaties, as rightly said, they should be made very, very objective. If you make these on human rights, and if what he said, that Tihar jail is unfit to probably stay there, and you say that there is a politically motivated litigation going on in India, or you say that I am suffering from cancer, I can get forged medical reports, and this, I mean, just about anything and everything can be done. So as rightly said, this is an open and shut case. The LUTs are there. The money was siphoned off. Letter of credits were taken. Jilly, Nakshatra, and Gitanjali Diamond, the so-called super brands, diamond brands at that time, they were made a mockery actually. With so much of advertisement, so much of huge customer base, it was complete mockery. And it's a shame actually. It's a shame that such a man is exploiting and trotting around the world, with some of the most developed countries like Switzerland, Belgium, of course Antigua and Barbados I don't talk about, but then he's making a mockery of the whole international extradition system. He's making a mockery of the red corner notice. I mean, for now, I have my doubts on the Interpol also. That is the red corner notice really of any use? Because there has to be some method through which this man has to be brought back. Forget about his cancer. Forget about these subjective clauses in the extradition treaty. It's a very shameful situation. I would say, and I'm not very hopeful that he's going to come here.
Okay, all right. Dr. Kohli is not very affirmative and positive about his return because of obviously the loopholes that Mr. Choksi is so used to exploiting. Mr. Satyendra Singh, do you share Dr. Kohli's pessimism when it comes to this man coming back to India, or do you think there are enough loopholes for him in the international order as well to exploit and get away?
विनीत जी, कोहली जी जो हैं बहुत ही पेसिमिस्टिक हो रहे हैं, लेकिन मैं ऑप्टिमिस्टिक हूं। देखिए, जो भी क्रिमिनल होता है, वो जो भी लॉ होते हैं, उसके अंदर जो लेकुना है, लूपहोल्स है, उसका सब फायदा उठाने की कोशिश करते हैं। हम इंटरनेशनल एक्स्ट्राडिशन ट्रीटी की ही बात क्यों करें? हमारे यहाँ का जो अपना जुडिशियल सिस्टम है, उसमें भी लूपहोल्स हैं, उसका फायदा उठाकर बरसों केस चलते रहते हैं। लेकिन ऐसा नहीं है कि अपराधी बच ही जाएगा। देखिए, जहां तक चोकसी जी का सवाल है कि उनके खिलाफ रेड कॉर्नर नोटिस विड्रॉ हो चुका है, उसके बाद भी यदि बेल्जियम गवर्नमेंट उनको अरेस्ट करती है तो ये बहुत ही पॉजिटिव साइन है। और एक्स्ट्राडिशन जो है पूरी दुनिया में, ठीक है, मैं मानता हूं कि इन ट्रीटीज में बहुत ज्यादा रिफॉर्म होना चाहिए, लेकिन क्या सिर्फ रिफॉर्म से काम चलेगा? अभी जो हम जियोपॉलिटिक्स में नया चैलेंज देख रहे हैं आफ्टर ट्रम्प 2, WTO, फ्री ट्रेड, सब कहां चले गए? सबके रूल्स बने हुए हैं, नॉर्म्स बने हुए, टैरिफ वॉर चल रही है। तो मेरा मानना यह है कि बेल्जियम गवर्नमेंट ने यदि मेहुल चोकसी को इस स्टेज पर अरेस्ट किया है जबकि उनके खिलाफ कोई रेड कॉर्नर नोटिस नहीं है, उन्होंने सिर्फ हमारे जो लॉ ऑफ कोर्ट है उन्होंने जो 2 NBW निकाले हुए ओपन एंडेड, उसके बेस पे उसको अरेस्ट किया है। अब मैं थोड़ा सा इसे एक बैकग्राउंड में जाना चाहूंगा कि लास्ट मंथ बेल्जियम से एक बड़ा हाई लेवल डेलीगेशन आया था, जिसको वहां के डिप्टी PM और वहां की जो राजकुमारी है, या आई एम नॉट श्योर, थोड़ा कंफ्यूज हो रहा हूं, वो उसको लीड कर रहे थे। ये भी मार्च की बात है। और उन्होंने यहां कुछ डिफेंस डील की, अराउंड 23 MOUs साइन किए हैं, और उसके बाद वो वापस जाते हैं और 1 महीना भी नहीं निकलता, शायद 20-25 दिन भी नहीं होते हैं, मेहुल चोकसी को अरेस्ट कर लिया जाता है। तो इसलिए मैं ऑप्टिमिस्टिक हूं कि मेहुल चोकसी का एक्स्ट्राडिशन होगा और बहुत जल्दी होगा। अब वो जो मेडिकल ग्राउंड है या जो भी बहाने बनाते रहे, देखिए मेडिकल ग्राउंड, जहां तक कैंसर की बात है तो इंडिया से अच्छा ट्रीटमेंट कहां होता है? वर्ल्ड लेवल के ट्रीटमेंट हमारे यहाँ अवेलेबल है। और ये जो है कि हमारी जो प्रिजन्स हैं उनकी कंडीशन अच्छी नहीं है, ये नहीं है, तो ये तो तभी काम आते हैं जब वहां का सिस्टम उस आदमी को कोऑपरेट करने के लिए तैयार है, जो मुझे इस केस में नहीं लगता विनीत जी कि ऐसा कुछ होने जा रहा है।
Vinny, just very quick.
Sure.
30,
I was going to ask you to respond, Dr. Kohli. Go ahead.
पहली बात तो अगर वो आ जाता है, मैं क्यों चाहूंगा सत्येंद्र जी कि वो ना आए। मैं तो पास्ट एक्सपीरियंस के ब्याह पे देख रहा हूं। देखिए, अरेस्ट करना एक बात है, मैं एक वकील भी हूं, अरेस्ट करना एक बात है, पर अब मैटर जाएगा कोर्ट में। जो ये सब्जेक्टिव सहाय साहब ने बातें कही और जो मैंने भी जिनको सेकंड किया, वो बातें कोर्ट में जाके ये टेस्ट की जाती है। अरेस्ट तो कर लिया, जो रिलेशन थे दो, पर एक जुडिशियल प्रोसेस जो चलेगा उसको लेके मैं बहुत निराशावादी हूं। पर आपके मुंह में घी शक्कर, अगर आ जाए तो सबसे पहले लड्डू मैं आपके पास भिजवाऊंगा सर।
चलिए, let's also get Mr. ML Sharma in. Mr. ML Sharma, where do you stand on this? This is obviously a situation that has languished on in the past as well. You know, even if you look at some of the other absconders like Vijay Mallya and Lalit Modi, you know, there are complications, there are intricacies when you are a nation dealing with another nation. You know, there are a lot of overlapping issues like human rights, correctness of information and whatnot. Where do you stand on this, sir? So please unmute yourself. I can't hear you. Sir, I can't hear you. I apologize. So please, you'll have to unmute yourself. Okay, I'm going to go back to Mr. Sahai. Mr. Sahai? Mr. Sahai?
Yeah,
Well,
I'm listening
well,
to you.
you know, we are a bit of in an optimistic atmosphere right now, since what we saw Tahawur Rana being brought back, and this would obviously be a good time for India to push through and identify these these fraudsters and these absconders, to make sure that the loopholes that we've been talking about, or the system at the way that has been misused and tweaked by these people, is discouraged.
See, the loophole has to be battled. Now, what subjectivity we are talking about? How do we surmount that subjectivity? If there is a medical issue, how do we sort it out and we prove it to the concerned court? And we presume that the court is very, very objective, fair, impartial, and transparent, and provide them the necessary documentation, circumstantial evidence, and the like, as stands in India, that Tihar jail is this. And we have to prove that. In the very same manner, medical facilities we have been talking about, and India is certainly second to none as far as medical facilities are concerned. Human rights can also very clearly be proven with the type of nature of structure which we have, inclusive of a National Human Rights Commission. And what is very important is that there are international guidelines, and in this rules-based international order, there are things which all countries have to follow. If Belgium is a signatory to one particular protocol or agreement or whatever you might call, and India is also a signatory, and both are valid and both are approved and both are accepted, which means the norms in both those countries are exactly the same. We have been able to surmount this initial challenge in variety of cases, and more often than not, there has been an initial challenge and initial setback. Now we have to move with a renewed vigor. We have been able to get a handle. Now, things of the nature that there was kidnapping, which he says was orchestrated by the Indian state. Now, that was also used when I think the red corner notice was cancelled. Now, these are the things, and these are the smoke screens being created by this whole legal team of it. This has to be properly broken by the Indian prosecutors. And there is enough of expertise in this country, and we have handled large number of terror cases to this logical conclusion. This white collar crime, we have the expertise.
All right, sir.
Handle this white collar crime. Surmount this
We've run out
challenge
of time. Appreciate you joining us, and would like to thank all our guests for being a part of this conversation.